Ladies and gentlemen, hello. My name is Ben Chaita Workman, and my guest today is Mr. Ian Hutch.
Hey Ben, how you doing?
Really quite well. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm a little nervous. I haven't slept in a little while, but it's all going to be worth it because I'm taking my company back.
Just to be clear, this interview is to discuss Ian Hutch and his upcoming match at Turkey Day Takedown with Joe Macho for ownership of Pentagon Wrestling Federation. Let's begin. Mr. Hutch, how would you describe Mr. Macho?
Well, he's big. He's fierce, but when I have something as delicate as my own company riding on the line, none of that matters. When I have my baby riding on the line, it doesn't matter. Because I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that PWF stays in the hands of where it should be. Not in the hands of someone who doesn't know what they're doing. It should be in the hands of someone who knows what they should, who should be running it. Someone who cares about the PWF locker room and not just themselves.
With that being said, you've always been a promoter. You've never wrestled before. What makes you think you can take on someone like Joe Macho?
Well, like I said, the size just doesn't matter. I mean, in this factor, I didn't study too much physically. I haven't been training too much physically. I've trained almost 100% mentally. I've stayed up all night researching wrestling psychology, how to defeat a giant, how to take your company back. Because I can't let my company get taken away, especially not by someone like Macho.
That old document that was in your desk states that the first inaugural champion is required to have 50% ownership. Has obviously been in your possession for quite some time. Please be honest. Why'd you hide it?
Well, you see, well, first of all, that was my office. I mean, Joe Macho, let's be honest, shouldn't have been snooping around there in the first place. You know, sometimes things, it's very messy. It's very messy in there, and that document was very old. It was white, but I know that at Turkey Day Takedown, I will have 100% ownership.
That wasn't the question. The question was, why did you hide it? I mean, it was 50% Joe Macho's office, too. Why'd you hide it?
It's a very messy office. I'm very organized, not as much with papers, but I
Mr. Hutch, be honest with me. Why'd you hide it?
The Turkey Day Takedown, I will have my company back. And it will be in the hands of Ian Hutch, the original founder of this company, and the person who should be running this company.
If you are the personal founder of this company, why did you write up that document that would state that the inaugural champion would have 50% ownership?
Ben Chaita, you're a nice guy. You're one of my favorite members of the PWF locker room. I can't wait until you get into active in-ring competition again. I would really appreciate it if you had any more questions, if we could move on to that. I would appreciate that. I mean, I did want to conduct this interview to get everyone excited for the match and to let everyone know that Ian Hutch is staying within the charge, within the area of charge in this industry and in PWF. He will remain in charge, and I wanted to conduct this interview to ensure that everyone was aware of that, and I wanted to conduct it to get everyone excited. So I do appreciate that. If you have,
okay, I guess I have one more question.
All right.
What will happen if you lose?
If we're being completely honest here, Joe Macho is an unhinged lunatic. He is bigger than me. He is faster than me. He's trained more than me. He's wrestled a lot more than me. That's very true. I've been watching wrestling my whole life, but he's been wrestling for way longer than I have. And as we all know, he's one of the most unpredictable individuals, if not the most unpredictable individual in PWF. So we all know that the chances of me winning are not very high if we're being completely realistic. But we also know that if he does end up walking out with the ownership of PWF. That's worse than Rocket Boy being Pentagon Wrestling Champion. That's worse than him being Pentagon Wrestling Champion. That will be the worst thing to ever happen. In the history of PWF, in the history of backyard wrestling, it will be a worse nightmare than any of us can imagine. It will be one of our biggest nightmares, something none of us could imagine until it would happen. So I'm hoping that everyone watching Turkey Day Takedown will be rooting for the right man, the man who knows what he's talking about, the man that knows what he's doing with this business. Because you have not seen a company run by Macho yet, and I can guarantee you it is not a sight that any of us will want to see.
Well, that concludes our time for today. Thank you, Mr. Hutch. Good luck.